they're in between. They're in between songs.
Or they just knew at 6:30 to shut her down.
Yep.
Maybe not.
Hear it, I think people would show up here and you could have it like a
better party.
Yeah.
I agree.
Be like Gutfield on TV, have a whole audience.
Yeah. Hey, I got that.
on?
I got
We're
that
going.
old. Are we on?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Go. Oh,
It's you, Bill.
it's my turn. And welcome to another edition of Race Talk Live. Bobby Potts and Bill Grit here with you, live from the District Eat and Play. Thanks for tuning in tonight on Race Talk Live. Glad to have you aboard. Bob's playing with his phone, so
Yeah,
I don't know what he's doing over there.
Going. First of all, I'd like to thank our guests for showing up.
Oh man, what a
for
mess!
coming. Got Mark Hendricks. You gotta say that right. It's
Yeah,
not
Hendricks.
Hendricks. It's
Hedrick.
Hedrick from Concordia Raceway, and Chuck Fairchild from Salina Speedway. So thanks for coming, guys. I know Mark had to take a little trip from Concordia, but ain't too bad of a drive.
Yeah.
I had to call him and say, "Come on, you're gonna do this."
I was second choice tonight.
No, you were not.
Our whole, the whole deal started with Sea Ray and Warren Hardy were going to be here to talk about Sea Ray's Fall Nationals in Enid. And like I say, yesterday he took off and had to do some work in Enid and didn't make her back. So we got these two guys. I'm sure it's going to be just as good.
Has Enid been running races, Bob?
You know, I can't. I don't.
I wanted to see that. I bet they're trying to get that place in shape.
I think they ran a few shows, but I can't tell you for sure. But we'll do this business stuff first. And we got Kansas Auto Racing Museum located in Chapman. They are open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. Admission $5 for adults, $3 for children, and 6 of them are free. But pretty cool place to check out. Yeah, we got Salina Speedway located on Burma Road. Races every Friday night in 2024. Been doing good. It's been a fun time out there. I've enjoyed working with Chuck, and I think all the other employees have had a good time this summer. So things have been going good out there. We got a few. Of course, Friday night's our championship night, and then we got a big fireworks show coming up on the 5th, and then the following weekend is the
What do they call it? Crashtoberfest?
Crashtoberfest,
The demo
Demolition
derby.
So it's always a good time, but thanks to them guys. Big special thanks to Amanda tonight. Dean is in Manhattan on another job, and so Amanda's taking over for him tonight. So big special thanks to her for setting up all the equipment and getting us going.
So we say Mean Amanda?
Mean Amanda?
Mean Amanda.
I don't know if we call her Mean Amanda.
She popped knots on somebody's head.
Yeah, and also, of course, the District Eat and Play here. Got to thank them for letting us do this here.
It's a cool place.
So you're up.
Oh, it's my turn?
You're up.
Why is that? You got one page, I got two.
You handed it to me.
Yeah, Belleville High Banks Hall of Fame and National Midget Auto Racing Museum. Summer hours are Tuesday through Sunday 10 to 5. Winter hours Tuesday through Sunday 11 to 4. The location is 1204 H Street in Belleville, Kansas. Can't miss it. It's right off the highway on Take 81 until you see the sign. It's right there on the east side. Entries by free will donation, and they are the local authorized Nance Racewear dealer. BSB Manufacturing, 20 North Industrial Drive, Wellington, Kansas. If you want to go fast, give Jay a call. He's got the most complete, up-to-date package available. 620-326-3152. Bill Grit's Kimball Midwest. For all your maintenance, repair, and operational needs, get in touch with me. I'll hook you up. Concordia Raceway. last but not least, 615 North Industrial Road, Concordia, Kansas. You know, if you use your GPS thing to get you there, it takes you north. It takes you across the street.
Does it?
Yep, 615 Industrial Road, Concordia. It's a quarter-mile egg-shaped dirt track.
I don't need
I like
GPS
to call it
get
the
there,
Great
so.
American Short Track, east side of Concordia, right by the fairgrounds. I used my GPS to get there one night.
And you went the other way, huh?
No, I didn't, because I was like, that's not right.
Luckily, you knew where you were going.
But once I got there, I was like, yeah, I got it. I was camping when we were out at Milford and came all the back. Do you know there's like 20 turns to get to Concordia from Milford if you take the back road?
Really?
Yeah, it's awful.
Huh.
2-lane highways, deer everywhere. Oh, it was amazing.
Welcome to Kansas, right?
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
You know, you guys finished up your season a few weeks ago. Had some great champions there that raced all summer long. RPM finished up theirs last Sunday, and in the Sport Compacts, Gage Porter picked up the feature win. Riley Flores won the points championship in the Compacts. Hobby Stocks, Zach Olmstead picked up the feature win and also won the points. In the Sport Mods, Blaine Walt, same, won the feature and the points. Stock Cars, Kyle Pfeiffer won the feature, won the points.
Kind of a trend going here.
Modifieds, Daniel Gottschalk won the feature. Guess who won the points?
Daniel Gottschalk.
Daniel Gottschalk won the points. So, congratulations to all them guys. Fortunately, Salt City Speedway got their championship night rained out, but their points champions ended up being Scott Miller, who won the stock cars. Casey Joe Gimmel won the modifieds. That was pretty awesome for
Yep.
her. In the sprint cars, Stephen Richardson. In sport mods was Justin Lampy. And I don't know how to do this one, but the Hobby Stocks ran there one time. Cody Williams won, so does that make him the champ?
Depends on who you ask.
I don't know how they. You surely got to. You surely got to get in more than one race to be classified as being
There's no point average yet.
track champion. So, but anyway,
If you're Cody, you're going to
Yeah.
say you're champion.
yeah, there you go.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if it was
Well,
me,
he
I-
did. He listed a special race on something I saw somewhere.
Well, Arizona,
Yeah.
the Arizona Tour classified him as a
Well, the
track
Winter
champion.
National is its own little private.
Yeah,
tour
just
thing,
like,
yeah.
just like the Dirt Crown Series, and
Right.
I mean, there's all these little series that consider, a championship. So it's all bonus points come down to it. So.
Racing for championships is hard.
Oh boy,
Sometimes it'll take the fun right out of racing.
it does a lot.
Well, I don't have anybody on yet. I wonder-
We got Rick Rogers, Marvin Griffith Jr., Greg Freeman, Fred Sorrell, Craig Miller, Ashley Schneewise, and Matt O'Connor are watching so far.
Attaboy, because I can't see him over here.
Can't
I
get
must have
him
gotten in trouble again.
He gets kicked off Facebook about every other week.
Dude,
Follow the rules.
dude, I shared a picture.
Listen.
Here, you need to hear
Listen to
this.
this story.
I went to a good Catholic school, okay? I shared a picture of a row of boys, 3 rows of boys on those risers we used to have, okay? Everybody's smiling for the camera, except for the kid on the far right on the top tier. He's turned around mooning the whole crowd. And I shared that picture because I laughed because I could picture somebody doing it. I ain't naming names, but I could have seen it happen. They booted me off Facebook for that. And all I did was share it. And then, and I've shared some work stuff too, or things that get, and I've learned the hard way that not everything that somebody sends you is accurate, even though you may find it funny. Yeah. So for a while I couldn't do anything.
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Is it going now?
Yes, I see thumbs up.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
Must have had to move my phone. So Chuck, I guess we'll start this way. Boy, howdy, did you set the world on fire?
Yeah, I guess I did. I really didn't think it was that big a deal, but apparently Western Kansas thinks it is. But I'll just tell you, it's a business decision. I talked with the IMCA about it. We talked about how we thought it should affect any other tracks, and we didn't think it should. And I'll just say I'll own it, and I'm glad I'm doing it. And I know on Friday nights, I had people running against me all over the state multiple times. I don't know if I ever got to run a Friday night that I was the only track running last season. So, I mean, you know, it's when it's on me, nobody ever said a word, but when I moved to Saturday, which is the least raced night in the state of Kansas.
Is it really?
The least ran. There are
Friday?
No, Saturday.
Saturday is.
There's less racing. There's either Hayes or there's Dodge, both of them which are a long ways from Salina, and now there's going to be Salina. And I'm going to draw cars from Beatrice. I can draw cars from Topeka. You know, and it's
Hutchison.
Yeah, Hutchison. I get the Hutchison cars there. I guess what I'm going to be working with is Hutchison and Concordia. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you run, Mark, don't you run every other week?
Every other
Every
Sunday.
other week. So every other week, guys could run
Friday, Saturday,
Friday,
and Sunday.
Saturday, and Sunday.
Now, I understand why you did it. I don't have a dog in the fight. It's your business deal. I'm not against it. How'd you pull it off? Because he's tried to go to Saturday for years.
Yeah.
And
I was,
I'm not speaking for him, but you tell him. It's your story.
I was told that IMCA has too many Saturday night tracks in the state of Kansas. And they were concerned that I would be competing directly against Dodge City, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I even approached them with the attitude of we would run opposite of Hayes, work with Chris and work it out to where we're back and forth. And I was told just too many tracks on Saturday night in the state of Kansas.
Yeah.
I think truly, I don't know that we're necessarily successful, but a track running on Sundays is rare.
Yeah.
And I think they were making it work, so they're kind of making us stay with it because we're making it work, even though I think we could do better. But Sundays are tough. Just
Yeah.
flat out all around, they're tough.
Yep.
Yeah, I used to go all the way to Great Bend every Sunday back in my younger driving days. So, I mean, I still went to Sunday tracks. But, yeah, it's tough. But I think the reason that I'm able to do it is I'm the only – I scheduled. I had a lot of rainouts. We had
You had 4 in a row.
22 races scheduled. So, like I say, you can add up Hayes and Dodge, and they hit 20 races. So that's the thing. I'm the only weekly track in the state of Kansas that run, when I start a season, I'll run every Saturday till the season's over. I think we're going to take 2 off this year when the River Festival's in town and when the big car show. So there's 2 Saturdays they can have at it.
Well, obviously, you two should exchange numbers and kind of bounce some ideas off each other at some point in time.
Sure.
You know, I know, Mark, I know it was a few years back, you tried to run some modified shows.
Yeah.
Didn't have a real big success on the car count, but I know the guys loved the place.
The drivers that would show up would like it.
One of my guys, Curtis Peel, had a blast racing there. I mean, he loved it.
I actually get a message about every month from somebody asking if we're ever going to put on a mod show, and I'm like, we had 1,000 to win, 3 showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, so you know it's hard to want to
It's
promote it when no one's showing up.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know if maybe this current situation that's going to happen next year. I mean, maybe a once a month deal. You guys could swing a mod show.
Well, if it was me, I'd come down and talk to them all and say, are you going to show up if I do it? Because I know what you're going through.
So
I don't want to run a show and have people not show up.
would you mind if we came down and talked to your drivers?
I care less.
Really?
I don't care.
Okay.
Unless you're going to run on Saturday, and then I might. But no, it's
Obviously, we're not now.
I'm all.
That's
I'm
gone.
telling you,
Yeah.
to promote, a guy's got to work at it.
Oh, he does.
And that's what I say, and I think that he's got an opportunity now, but I agree with him. I'd give him a shot, and if they don't come, I'd make B-Mods my thing. You know, if I don't get a lot at Salina, I'd axe them in a heartbeat. I mean,
So this was primarily a business decision for you to do this, right?
100% business. I mean, we worked our tail off this year out there in Salina. I don't sit with empty stands. I have a lot of people in the stands.
Yeah.
I did 4 rainouts, and it cost me a lot of money. Everybody thinks I like to rain out. To be exact, I'll just tell you, it cost me about $35,000 in them 4 weeks that it took out of the bank account because bills keep rolling in at that speedway. That doesn't count that I lost everything I lost in revenue that I didn't make. That's what it just drained what we had made.
Well, I mean, there's constant costs. I mean, does your insurance build on when you race, or is it per month? You don't have a rent payment because you own the place, but
Right.
there's all kinds of costs associated that you have to keep every week.
Well, like the food, we buy the concessions and stuff. That bill runs 14 days behind. So those bills came every week that we weren't racing until the last one. Then it finally got a little lower. But and water, we prepared the track every one
week,
of them
yep.
rainouts.
And
We worked at the track. Me, Bobby, and Peggy. We worked out there. We were ready to race every time we rained out. So our expense on getting the track prepared was the same. The water bill out there, we buy rural water for all the watering at the track. That's expensive, but like I say, that's part of being a promoter. You got to be able to take the punches. Now, going to Saturday, the main reason there is I had a lot of fans that would tell me they couldn't get home from work and get out there in time from surrounding areas. I've had multiple people from Beatrice saying, we'd love to come to your track every week, but we race on the same night. So like I say, I don't need Western Kansas guys. I appreciate it when they come. Hey, if somebody falters out there, I'll take their cars. I mean, that's business.
that's business.
This is a business I run. And like I say, I want the most fans, I want the most cars, and I'll work my tail off, and all of my staff does to make that happen. And
I think part of that, when you started the year, you were going through the same routine every week, playing. I mean, the Ring of Fire plays
Yep.
10 till 8, and then the national. We do our prayer, national anthem, and we're racing at 8:01, 8:02, and Mark. The few times, I wish I would have been able to make it more, but the few times that I did make it, Mark got his shows done. The Dirt Crown race ran kind of late because of the car count, but I mean, that was.
I think
It is what it is, but you guys did a good job of running your show too.
Mark does a great job of getting that track. The thing with you can speak for yourself, but the thing with the Sunday show,
I just didn't need to be here. I mean, he's got it, right?
the thing with the Sunday show is, and you've been there, Bob. You've seen how it works.
Yep.
You know, he's worked the track all week. It's race day. It's 100 bazillion degrees outside, and he's watering the track. But you can see it almost evaporate during the day.
Yep.
And we start early,
Yep.
you know, because we start at 6.
5.
5.
Trying to get people home
5.
at
Yeah.
a decent time.
So that people can get home because it's a Sunday night deal. So, yeah.
I mean,
that's tough.
can you imagine starting
No.
at a 5 o'clock race?
No, that's a good thing on a
That'd be
Friday
tough.
night is you can start at 8
Yeah.
and the sun's going down.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll start earlier next year.
Chuck, you've raced. I mean, those afternoon races are tough on
Oh, yeah.
everything.
No, it is, but like I say, you got to do for your track, and that's the way every track in Kansas needs to do. They need to worry about their own track, quit worrying about other tracks, and make their track the best track in their area. That's what you got to do.
And that's, you know what? From when I first saw Concordia to now, he's made tremendous improvements. Speak.
I hope so.
Speak.
Speak?
Yeah. I'll shut up.
You'll shut up?
Yeah.
We've made it a long way, yes, but there's a long way to go. I mean, there's things we want to change, but it's all comes down to financials too. Of we're a town of 4,500 people racing on a Sunday.
Yeah.
We don't have 50,000 people around us
Right.
to pull from, so
Yep.
our crowd base is pretty limited unless we pull them in from outside, which is kind of tough to do.
You've gotten the city of Concordia to pitch in really well. I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, as far
Yeah.
as the banners and
Oh, yeah.
your businesses that have stepped up and helped out. I mean, no, you've done really well there, which is a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got limited staff, and I say they're volunteers. I mean, we pay them, but I mean, there's a couple of the guys that put in so many hours with me that I can't pay them enough, you know. So it gets tough, you know, burning them out and burning myself out trying to do it all at once. So yeah.
We've had some other people get on. Basil.
Basil Price.
Basil
You remember
Price.
Basil?
Basil's watching.
Yeah.
Connor Barnes. We got Jay
Can't even
Petty.
see that.
We got Eric
Glasses.
Tixord. We got BJ Wagner, Alan Jeske, and Adam Cross is all watching. So thanks everybody for tuning in. So I know it's early, Mark. Have you got things rolling for next year yet?
We
I know
got
you're probably
we got
working on
wheat
a-
planted.
Working on your banquet.
We planted the
I
track.
heard that.
Yeah.
Have you done that before?
No, well, we tried to do it last year, but the couple farmers were going to help us do it. I mean, they're busy, so they just got behind, couldn't get to it. So we did it this year ourselves, old school way, I guess you'd say it, but it worked.
To tell everybody what he got, he planted weed on the track to keep the dirt from washing away.
Keep it from erosion, and then
Yep.
in the spring we'll
Yep.
we'll disc it in and leave it behind, help with the moisture content, I hope.
Yep.
Because the dust is the big
like a
issue
good
we
idea.
have.
Yep.
But that
Must
5
have a
o'clock
little-
sun,
Must have a little farmer in you.
I don't know. I like driving a tractor. You know, it's fun. But yeah, anything, we put a whole bunch of mulch and organics in the track before we even planted, and then we went on a 2-week drought of rain,
Yeah.
and which benefits you guys finally.
Yeah,
Didn't
it's
it?
coming at the right time finally.
But then now that we're getting rain, I was out there the other day, and we got patches coming up, so far it's working.
Is the track wide enough to get a combine on it?
It's 67 feet wide.
See, there you go. I think some of them combines I see are close to that.
Yeah, one pass.
One pass.
One pass. That's the thing about our track is people talk about how small it is and everything, and it is a small track. It makes it feel small because of the guardrail, because you're contained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the racing surface is 67 feet wide.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I've been there.
And we
It's-
can go three sport mods side by side through a corner, and no one touches anybody.
Yeah, I really enjoyed when I went there and watched. I really enjoyed it. It was good, fast racing.
Yeah,
I was there on a sprint car night.
You can always catch Tyler Fry running right up next to the guardrail.
God, he gets up the top, doesn't he? You know, Watt's kid come out a couple, 3 years ago, and he said, if you make this thing 2 grooves, I'll come back. And it's 2 grooves
I
now.
think it's
So
yeah.
Yeah, but it's got to be daunting though at speed with that guardrail right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Comes up
now
on
you race up against that, because if you go away from it too far, it hurts more.
it does. It does. But the good news is the guardrail and it gives, not like a concrete wall that doesn't.
Yeah, I've done that too.
So Chuck, you got the championship night coming up Friday, and then you got some other stuff going
Yeah,
on
we got-
to finish out the year.
Well, we got the championship night coming up. Like I say, we're paying the $2,000 on the modified. I got a good sponsor that likes to help out, and I'm putting money in on it. It was kind of funny because I seen where one of the keyboard warriors said I had to match somebody else's pay. I didn't even know another track was running against me Friday until you told me today.
Yeah.
I didn't know Goodland. Say Goodland?
I
Something like that?
is
I didn't even
Sherman
know.
County. Where's Sherman County at? Is that Goodland,
Is that Goodland?
Colby, whatever?
I was just out that direction. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know a
Like
track
Greg-
was running against me.
Like Greg said, it's in another time zone, I think.
Yeah.
It is.
So like I say that.
I don't want to talk
don't
bad
bother
about
me.
anybody.
No,
out there, but yeah.
But no,
Sherman
no,
County.
it was just something I wanted to do because I thought a lot of guys were waiting around. I think to go to the thing in Hayes next weekend, and I wanted to let them know that there was one race left they could come to and make some money this week. So that's the only reason. And the championship is basically already determined in the modifieds. All the Curtis has to do is make one lap of the heat race, and he wins the
He wins the
championship.
championship.
So that's, I would not have did a draw-redraw if it was up for a battle between guys. And like I say, now the class that we have that's battling is the good old compacts. There's like
It's
4 of them.
yeah,
Those
it's-
things have really taken off this year.
it's all within
I mean,
like
they've
5
grown.
minutes.
Yeah, and they finish in a different order every week. It's been great, a lot of winners, and
Yep.
it's a fun class to watch. They've went more green to checkers than any other class we've had this year.
I think that's the case for us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had traveling guys.
Craig Colgin's on, and
Craig's on, and Steve Foster.
and Thad's watching.
Oh.
So.
You know, we've had traveling guys, as have you, because they stopped at your place and then come up to ours out of Texas
Yeah.
in the sport compacts. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, there's some guys travel around with those things. And stock cars, same way. You'll have a guy coming from Arizona swing in on the way somewhere.
Yeah.
But, the other thing we do want to talk about is the fireworks show next Saturday.
Yeah.
That's going to be unreal. One of our sponsors, our billboard sponsors, is in the firework industry. They're doing a display for pyrotechnics, or whatever you call it. The fireworks will play with the music. We got 8 or 9 of the biggest companies in the United States will be at Salina firing them off. It'll start at 7:30 and it will be pushing midnight by the time this is over. I asked Helm, I said, what would this cost me if I had to pay for it? And he said it would be over $100,000 worth of fireworks is going to go off out there.
Has he been hanging out with the guy from
Yeah.
Belleville? What's his name? Remember?
Oh yeah.
Raymond.
Raymond.
Richard.
Yeah.
Raymond.
Richard Raymond. This dude would sit on fireworks like you would not believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're doing this. It's to sell their fireworks to other vendors and stuff around, but they made it free to the public. So the public, we'll probably fill the grandstands up with people just come out to watch the fireworks, listen to the music. We'll have concessions and the beer sales open. That's the way I make money at the deal. So, like I say, it's really exciting.
And you can
I never
also-
heard of this kind of stuff, but it sounds cool.
And if you want to come out even earlier than that, you can sit and watch the air show.
Yeah, me and Bobby was out at the track today, and those guys was out there doing loop-de-loops and everything else at the Salina airport today, and I think that goes all through the weekend.
Through the weekend, I think so. But that's always pretty cool. Then you got a demolition derby coming up.
Yeah.
Chad's bringing back in 2 day.
Well, it's just going to be one day.
Oh, just one
He
day.
said that
Okay.
there's a lot more shows here at the end of the year, and he said he didn't think he'd get enough cars for 2 days. So we're going to put it all on the Saturday show.
Oh, okay.
What's that like to clean up after?
Well, funny you say that. Me and Bobby was driving out of the infield today, and there's a whole pile down at the bottom that washed from somewhere.
Belts and plastic.
And number 9 wire.
Yep.
Oh, really?
We never seen it on the track, but somehow it's sitting down in the infield. We don't know where it came from, but
Yep.
but no, we walk it. But it doesn't matter how many times you walk it. Every time we work the track, we have to re-walk it because
Sure.
it does.
Everything comes up.
Everything comes up.
Yep.
Yeah, you ever thought about doing a demo derby out there?
Nope.
That was a quick answer.
That was fast.
Years ago they would in the infield there, but it's the same thing. To this day we still occasionally find like a log chain that came from a derby
Oh
car.
gosh.
15 years
Exactly.
ago.
Yep.
But there it is.
No, it is a pain.
So-
You know what's funny? You're talking about finding stuff out of a demo car, though. We've been finding after a Friday night race. We've been finding 2x4s.
Yeah.
Where'd those coming from?
I have no idea what do the
We're-
guys
we're-
do with 2x4s in their cars.
Yeah, we have no idea on that one.
Maybe they're using it to jack it up with and it stays stuck to the bottom of the car and they forget it's there.
I don't know.
We found socks.
Socks?
We found socks.
That's weird.
Doing laundry at the racetrack.
Whose socks were
I
they?
have no idea. They weren't my size.
Nobody claimed them?
No.
Oh my
They're a little
God.
dirty.
Socks.
I can't tell you what we found in the infield or in the pit area.
We'll leave that one out.
Oh, God. Well.
Yeah.
It was funny when we found it. It was even funnier when it disappeared. But no, but I do want to say, I really plan on working with Mark and Concordia this year on some stuff.
You think we can put together some kind of a swing kind of thing?
I think we can. And I know that Phil, I've talked to Phil a few times. I think he's on board to do some stuff with us. Whether we, if you could, on a 3-day deal, if you win at all 3 of them, we might throw in a bonus or something. But we'll talk in the off season. But there's no reason not to. I mean, it's, I've really never had people try to work with me. And this is honest God truth. You'll hear them say they have, but the way people have always wanted me to work is they say, will you not race this Friday, and this Friday?
Yeah.
And I always say, that's my livelihood. What's in it for me if I do that?
Well,
and that's as a business, that's why I say I'm not going to shut down my track unless there's a way I make it back up.
it's your business.
And I think any promoter that does that is going to not be in the business very long.
Well, it's his, it's his
It's
business
Mark's business the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, if I called up Mark and said, hey, I want to run a couple Saturday, Sunday specials, just shut down for me, well, I hope he tells me to go to hell. Because that's what I'd tell him if he asked me to do it. I mean, that's the business side of it. You got to, I like to stay in my lane.
Oh, I get told that all the time.
Now I've switched lanes, but I'll stay in the lane I've switched to.
Oh, okay. Do you use your turn signal or?
No, but I just turned. But I will
Maybe
say
that's where I went wrong.
But I also will say I done it 6 months prior to the first time it'll happen. So I mean, it's plenty of warning for everybody, and that's like I say.
Change. People don't like change.
Yeah, people don't like change, but like I say, and a lot, I'm sure there's a lot of people don't like me out in western Kansas, but I will say this: not one of them know me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so. And I got broad shoulders. And Saturday night will be awesome in Salina, and I hope it pushes off to help Concordia. I hope it pushes off and helps Hutchinson. I think my success helps the tracks around me. I do. I get new race fans, they go to other tracks. What do you think, Mark? Was that going to work for you?
Sure. I'm like out in left field. I mean, we're on Sunday. Unless Lexington's running, we're it.
Yep.
Which is good and bad.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it's got its good and its bad.
I mean, you being on Saturday night helps in some regards with if drivers in the state of Kansas are looking for state points.
Yes.
They not necessarily have to come to us, but they don't have, because they can't go to you on Saturday and out to Dodge on Saturday.
Yeah.
They have to pick and choose what they're going to do, unless they go to, because I think Hutch is Friday, right? Now?
That's just Friday. On most
If they're the only Friday track, I mean, I think Joaquini runs a Friday here and there, stuff like that.
Joaquini does, Kobe does, Goodland. They all run, they run a couple Fridays, then a Saturday, then a Sunday. They move around. But
if you want to race 3 nights a weekend or even 2 nights a weekend, you kind of have to do some traveling now.
And in the lower classes, a lot of those guys, they can't afford to go all the way across the state to run. I mean, your modifieds can do it a little bit, but the rest of them, they want to stay close to home, and I think we're giving them within 60 miles of Salina now they can race 3 times.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing for racing.
We get several of our, I won't say half, but we get several cars out of Nebraska that run Beatrice, and some of them go up to, a lot of them go up to Eagle, and then McCool, and then to us on Sunday. So some of them just go to Beatrice and then back to us on Sunday, take Saturday off or whatever. But I don't know what those guys will do. I mean,
we're targeting them.
No, now they can race Chuck on Saturday. Spend the night somewhere and just come right into Concordia.
Yeah. On the way home.
Camp out at the campground there in Concordia.
You gonna come cook a breakfast?
Me?
Yeah. Maybe. You'll think about it.
I'll put it on my schedule.
There you go.
Okay. I can cook.
Yeah.
Breakfast is easy.
Yeah.
There's lots of things we could do, I suppose.
Yeah.
We've got a couple, Mike Truskowski, Thane Beckman wants to know if we're running mini
If you
stocks.
guys will run mini.
And
Here's the deal.
probably not.
Here's the deal.
Sorry.
Concordia,
We have an anomaly of a mini stock class.
Yeah.
It started with they're
J
called
Huskers.
super trucks, but they run with the J Husker series.
Yep.
But there's a good 8 to 10 of these guys that live in Concordia.
Yeah, so
So-
you got to do something with them.
So
man.
we've always liked that class anyway, so we have them there on a regular basis. But then we added where you can have any rear-wheel drive. Was it 2.3 engine or smaller? Has to be rear-wheel drive, certain wheelbase, all that stuff.
there's a kid that comes to us from Nebraska with a Pinto.
Yeah.
And it reminds me so much of the early days at Saline Speedway with all the Pintos.
Well, that's kind of strange you say that. I didn't know you had that class, but I'm getting a lot of calls, guys wanting the rear-wheel drive. Now I got to play send them.
Right.
Because I'll send them your way. Because I mean, it's good because there's a bunch of those cars still around this area. They need to drag them out and.
Well, there's some rules that I think need to change. We're looking at our rules for them right now, but like it's always been carburetor only. Well, if we opened up to fuel injection, we get 10 more years of cars that are eligible to become race cars all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know, because those motors and everything are getting hard to find. They're getting crushed, destroyed, whatever. So in order to keep that class going and try to keep, because the idea is we got to get young kids to race. To me, that's the point of that class. My son, I have 2 mini stocks sitting in my garage now. One of them happens to be a Pinto, but if we don't get young kids going, we're not going to have hobby stock drivers, stock car drivers in the future, because they're going to start too late to where they're never going to really feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing that you have those cars. Like I say, we're right now, the front wheel drives work good for us.
And we do have the front wheel drive.
We have those too.
So
we
he
just have
runs. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we just have a
I'll
separate
just-
mini stock class that we run the sport compacts, the hobbies, the sport mods, and the stock cars. But a mini stock class, they always put on a good show. They're always, 10 plus in the class.
And that's a good business decision having them too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the bigger the car is, the more your purse is. The more your purse is, the less you make.
Right. Oh yeah.
Brian Dunsworth just came on. I was going to say, Brian, tell your dad that those 2 pit stalls are still there for him, waiting for a car to be in them. So he's got one more chance to get there.
Is that Rick's? Who's his dad?
Yeah, Rick.
Ricky.
Yeah.
Well, he's in the
Sorry.
stands all the time.
I know.
I see Rick all the time
Yeah,
there.
he's there all the time. Yeah, he's there.
He always
every
tells
week.
me he's getting close.
Yep. But you got one more week. So need to get there. He's been buying a pit stall, 2 pit stalls for the last 5 years and hadn't used them yet. So old Ricky needs to get her going.
Get that car done.
Yeah, I'll really get them all stirred up. I was thinking about doing away with reserved pit stalls.
I'll
See,
I'll go for that.
yeah, and you get some income for the speedway, but it's really a pain in the butt.
It is.
I mean, 'cause especially if you run any kind of specials. But no, it's. I'm looking at not doing that next year. Either that or make them so high priced that only a couple guys will do it.
Well, then you know what happened.
Yeah.
It'd be like the Tulsa shootout where they raised the price on the trailers inside the building. They like doubled the price. They got more.
They got more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, when it comes to a feature time, what's your class order?
It depends if it's a special night, like if some class is having a special, like 1,000 to win or the Barry Brittendahl thing,
You
I
put
will
them at
run.
the
I
end?
will run them at the end, and it's hard to do that. If you run 4 cylinders at the end and you lose a lot of crowd, I was happy at Brittendahl's race. We didn't lose that many. We may have lost 25%, but that meant 75% of them stayed. But yeah, I like to run my big show last because that's what everybody comes for, and that's the way I build the racetrack. I build the racetrack to be the ultimate track for like the final 2 features of the night. Everything up to that, we're still letting them work. No, we don't work it in, but the cars are working it in. So it's maximum speed, most lanes for that race, and that's just the way it is. I don't rework the track once the night starts, and I get more compliments from drivers. A lot of good drivers, they don't want you to work the track after the hot laps and after the heat races, and they don't like that because they want to adjust their cars for the night.
Wave to the camera. This is Karis. This is Chuck's daughter.
But I mean, I get that from a lot of drivers. They like to adjust their cars for what the track is doing, and it makes them mad when they got their about adjusted and then somebody goes out and reworks the track. Now you might do that, so I'm not saying if you do it that's your thing, but I'm saying that if my track gets rough, it's going to be a rough feature, and if the track gets rough, it's usually the best day feature of the year because it doesn't look rough for the rest of us, and the racing is the closest. But we've only had that happen a time or two after rains and stuff, but still I believe you get your track. And it's easier for me. I have clay. I understand that.
I got to ask you this one. You used to race.
Yes.
So you like a dry slick track or a hammer down wet?
I like a hammer down wet and heat race because it's just fun to go out there and hammer down, and it really ain't going to affect my night that much. In the feature, I don't like it so dry slick you can't touch the throttle, but I don't like to be able to run wide open all the time. I like to have to drive the car. Drive the car.
Yep.
And that was like that last race we had. It was hammered down for all the corners but 4. We had a drive place coming out of 4, and the guys that hammered down coming off of 4 hit the wall. The guys that pedaled it coming out down the front straightaway went on to win races and ran good. But I mean, that goes back to the guys that drove the track did great. The guys that just went hammer down all the way around, they met the wall.
I've always said you have to race the track first. What about you? What's your order of events? I'm not answering it for you.
Why not?
I know it, but I'm not saying it.
It varies.
It does.
It depends on the weather leading up to the race. Our track is finicky, to say the least. Everyone always screams at us, more water, more water, more water. Then it turns into a water bed, and we still have a half-inch crust of dry dirt from the sun.
Yep.
It gets dusty, but when you walk on it, it moves. So, and then it gets rough. Our experience has been looking at lap times, looking at caution numbers, stuff like that, that the more hammered down the track is, the more cautions we have.
Oh, yeah.
A dry slick track is actually faster lap times at our track.
Yep.
Yep.
And all the guys I've talked to say our track's a driver's track, that you need to know what you're doing because it happens fast.
And there again, you're all leaning back to trying to start at 5 o'clock when it's 110 out. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I'll throw it out there that I don't know how many people are watching or listening, but I'm entertaining the idea of starting at 6 o'clock next year instead of 5. Because we've been pretty consistent with the 3-hour show, which is what my goal every night. 3 hours we're done. If we can start at 6 and be done by 9, I still think that's a reasonable amount of time to get home.
And that's because we're a Sunday night track.
Right.
You know,
I mean, there's going to be a night that runs late, but that's any track. You know, you can't control. That's the other thing is I've had lots of talks with lots of drivers. We do not cause cautions.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
The drivers do. They can get mad all they want, but we're not out there. We're not the one who bumped the wall or hit the other car or just got too happy with the throttle. We throw cautions because you made us throw a caution.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we don't drive it in 6 wide in a corner that can only hold 3, maybe 4 at the best.
and then wonder why we spun out.
And wonder why somebody hit us.
Yeah.
Right.
He drove over me. Well, yeah, he did because you were in his way.
And there's a lot of times where that wrecker truck or push truck is like remote control. The minute they hit their switch, the race car starts also.
Yeah.
That is my pet peeve.
I say a yellow flag can start a race car better than any starting fluid ever thought of doing.
God, I get annoyed at that. And I mean, it happens all the time. And maybe they're in there trying to start it, you know.
And you know that a lot of times, Bill, you've raced
Finally, you said I raced.
But when you turn a car around and it rolls backwards, I mean, it sucks a lot of fuel in, and they are hard
They're
to
trying
start.
to start it.
You
You know, and then your upper, now, anything that runs the Burt Bren or
Yeah.
that Mitchell
you
machine
can't.
transmission, if you spin that out
You can't
and
get
you're
it.
hanging on the wheels with it in gear, can't
Yeah,
get
you
it out of
can't get
gear.
them out of gear. No, can't. So, yeah.
At our track, it's
It's tough.
cautions fast because it's so small. It's even though like someone stopped in 2,
Yeah, you can't even wait.
they're
You
coming
gotta
out
go.
of 4 already. It's like, man,
Yeah.
we can't wait for them to get it started. Some do it, but then we've also, you always see the one that comes to a stop, yellow comes out, all of a sudden they take off. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we get the advantage there. That's big enough that we can hold. If it's in 3 and they're coming down the front straight,
You can hold
we can
it.
hold it all the way till they're going down the back, and our bright yellows are big enough they see them when they go off.
Yeah.
So, like I say, that's an advantage on the big track. But the action is the advantage on your track. There's just
Everything
action.
happens fast.
Yeah. No, it's usually.
Most everybody that races at Concordia likes the way it happens quick. I mean, Salina's got tremendous speed. You had a night where you set track records.
Yeah.
Was that dry? That was dry slick night, wasn't
It
it?
was a little wetter. We had some rain that was timed just right. It was almost like we placed an order and it just all worked out, but yeah, it was a faster night.
You didn't put your order in the rain on Friday night, did you?
No. But yeah, so we had 3 of our 5 classes set track records that night.
And guys, you're both promoters. Calling the rain out has got to
That's
be
just
the
what I was gonna
hardest
ask.
thing to do. I mean,
You have to look at it as everyone always says, oh, you don't like to rain out, or oh, you like to rain out. Well, there's a dollar amount involved. Like one night we probably could have ran. I mean, our track, I don't know, Terry and me have a system, and Luke, and we have a system that we can get rain, even an inch of rain the night before, and we can still race. We're fine. But you have to judge the whole, okay, that's forecasted for rain that night. Are the fans going to show up? If this many people don't show up, it don't even cover insurance. We got an EMS bill, the food bill, all our people, once they're there, they're paid. So it turns into a financial decision of, this really ain't worth it, And it sucks to rain out. It's my least favorite thing about racing.
Well, yeah, that's why I say everybody, and Bobby's watched it. I walk off by myself. I go to the track. I walk down, look out in the pits. I'm looking at the sky, trying to figure out what I did wrong. But it's tough. But the way my deal is, I figure it takes, if my pits get wet, which we're trying to figure out for next year how to correct it. We're going to do some drainage stuff. Me and Bobby was out there
We're standing
today,
out there today.
scratching our heads. But we're going to fix it some way so it can be better. I can take 1 rain. I cannot take 2. Them pits, if you get the first rain, let's say you get it on Wednesday, it dries up on Thursday. If it comes again on Thursday night, it just sits there. It doesn't soak in. And that's what I look at. I go, okay, if it's going to take 3 hours of bright sunshine to dry the track, and it's clouds as far as I can see, when it gets to 2 o'clock, I have to call the race by 2 o'clock because I got people that travel a long ways to come race with us, and I've always told them, I will let you know at 2 o'clock. If I can let them know at noon, if I'm really depleted. but that's how it goes. But everybody that watches me do it, Bobby comes up and says, you can't race, dude. I still wait another half hour because I still think I want to race so bad. But the one time we got caught with the rain there, everybody remembered that night.
Oh yeah.
We took the big tractor, we was pulling semis out, it destroyed the pits, and I don't know if that affected us the whole rest of the year or not. It could have, because by breaking them pits up and getting all them ruts, I graded them all out. But then the bottom would fall out of it the rest of the season after that. The last thing you want to do is get everybody in there. In the old days, guys all come in with a half-ton pickup, a 1-2 axle open trailer. You could pull into an area that was a little damp and you could unload, you'd go race. we have 50% semis or motorhomes pulling stacker trailers now. They weigh 40, 60,000 pounds. And just because the crust dries on the top, if it's wet underneath, they're sinking to the axles.
Yeah, they're done.
And I mean, so that's what the people, the fans mostly don't understand. Why'd you call it? Because it looked like it was starting to dry. I said, only the top dried. We could not do it. And they said, well, park them in your parking lot. Well, no.
And,
That's a nice grass parking lot. We're not going to tear that up.
Yeah.
So it is.
The sun acts just like a yellow flag. The minute you call it, the sun comes out.
Yeah. I could not see a patch of blue sky that last one, and I called it. I went to town. Hell, the sun came out and there wasn't another cloud, but
It's
the
still
following
wet.
day it was still wet in the infield.
Yeah, it was still
So
wet.
I got stuck in the infield of your racetrack when you raced it, when I was running the Pro Stock class.
Yep.
A tornado came through
Yes.
and blew everything around in town, and I had to change the right front tire to put the car on the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
It's raining, it's
Yeah.
pouring, it's me and the crew guys out there, change the tire, get it on the car.
And go out that gate.
I had to go out the gate, pull up the track.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Brian Reeves stopped, and then I had to stop. And then at the time, it was Ricky Slothour, run the record. I don't know how soaked that. I bet he's still wet
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
But it ain't no fun for
No.
nobody.
But anybody that thinks the promoter likes the rain out, they're wrong. Because it hurts us. Now, my insurance company, if I don't put a car on the track, I don't have to pay insurance. If I put a car on the track and it rains out, I just lost a whole night of insurance. So, I mean, that's the way mine works, and I don't know if yours is the same thing. Yeah. So, like I say, but it's a financial deal. We make the wrong decisions, we won't be in business.
Well, I mean, I know Mark had one rain out that was ugly.
One.
Just one.
Just one?
We were standing there and it started pouring. I remember that night.
That was a good night.
That's what's bad is you get everybody there.
Yeah.
Well, the storm came out of nowhere. It was
Yeah.
there was like a 20% chance of rain, which there's 80% chance not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Everyone starts showing up, and then all of a sudden you see that
Where'd that come
downpour. Just
And if it sets on you, you just all she wrote.
from? Yeah, that one night at Salina, we stood there, and the cloud came over, and
And it's because we kept saying it can't rain much.
we're right on the tip of it. It freaking downpoured.
I remember that
20
night.
minutes.
I was on my way out.
Yeah, just a short period of time, but they were.
Oh, I've been driving up to his place, and I don't want to call him because I'll be driving up there going, "Ooh, this
Are you
doesn't look
sure?
pretty. Are you sure you're doing this?" Okay.
I get a lot of calls or messages of, are you going to rain out? I don't know. Why would I? Well, because it's raining. Not here. It's raining where you're out an hour away, sure, but it's not raining here. We got just a little half-mile square.
Yeah.
That's what we're concentrating on,
Yeah,
nothing
that's all
else.
we care about.
Yeah, there was so many times where you'd watch the radar and it'd come over and then split, and you wouldn't get nothing.
Yeah, I had it pour in Salina one time. Never a drop at the track. We ran races. We had which we probably had 300, 400 people in the stands, but normally we'd have 800 to 1,000. And I had people say they walked out on their porch in Salina. It was pouring on them. They went back in the house. And back then we weren't on now we have Track Tune and stuff so people can check, and the Facebook. We didn't have all that back then.
My race pass,
Yeah, back then it was just whowon.com or what it was, all we had.
Oh, that was awful.
Oh God.
But that's, and nobody came out to the track that night. But it was fantastic racing. And that's a killer thing where if I could have canceled, I would have been better off.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other part of it is people, oh, it's raining. I don't know if I want to go to the races tonight.
Yeah.
In general, if we can run, we're going to run.
Yeah.
That's just all there is to it.
There's not too many promoters that would ever call one that they thought they could run. I mean,
They wouldn't be a promoter if they just wanted to cancel. They want to race. That's why it's being done.
Kind of looking into the future, where are you seeing Concordia Raceway going?
I don't know. It's a fair board owned track.
Okay.
Do you have to bid on it, or they just negotiate with you, or how you do that?
I fell into it. It was an accident. Put it that way. So Terry and TJ Idit were running the track. It was a J Husker track predominantly. That's all they ran there. And then one day, these two guys walk in my shop, asking about making banners for the racetrack, and they're going to run big cars on it. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, it's never going to work, you know? And then the season starts, and I start going out there. And then the second season, I actually started to go help them some. I was actually one of the officials. I call it on the hill, but it's the lineup guy.
Yeah.
And you get an earful there. Everyone likes to yell at the lineup guy. And you learn a lot there too. And then I think the third year, I was still around helping all that stuff. And then the fair board made whatever decision for whatever reason, I get a phone call of that they're not renewing a contract. What should we do?
Yeah.
And I gave them, me and Pete Beaumont went in and gave them advice on here's 3 directions to go, which was just close it down, find someone to lease it out and promote it, or get a committee back together and run it as a group like years past called Concordia Motorsports did it. There was like 12 people all involved, each one doing various things. Worked quite well. I don't know whatever happened to that organization, but anyway. So 3 days later, I get a phone call of, well, we decided to do the committee thing. Like, good for you.
And you're the...
And by the way, you're part of that. Oh, okay. So me and Pete did what we did. We got everything up and going and running, and then just kind of and there was a whole group of us. We had meetings, everything. You've been there since the beginning, I think, or beginning of me at least.
At least, yeah, you.
And then some of the guys started falling off. They're busy with their lives. They're race car drivers themselves, stuff like that. Well, when you run with a committee, someone has to be in charge.
Yeah, the buck's got to stop somewhere.
And everyone kept calling me or looking at me for that. I was like, okay. So now I guess it's full-time me. I still got a good group of guys that help me out and everything.
It takes a lot of help done.
But it's with fair board owned. It's I won't say there's no money there, but it's the fair board. It's all fair boards, no matter what county you're in. It's tough these days to run fairs and 4-H and all that stuff. So we're kind of on an island. What we bring in is all we got. So if the fans don't show up, we don't got anything.
Yeah.
The person that has to cover it is, well, the guy in charge.
Oh boy.
So it sucks every once in a while. I mean, you lose money. It does suck to write a check for something that the track doesn't have money for, so I have to cover it. This year we did much better with that. It's getting better,
Good.
but we're putting things into place to help with that too. But we need cars and fans to continue at everywhere, not just us.
Oh, yeah.
We need fans to go to Saline. We need fans to go to Joaquini, to go to Belleville, to go out to Dot. We need that as a racing
we need more
group.
fans everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And everybody will win from it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I couldn't run with empty stands. I would lose because the way my operation cost a lot of money out there. And if I had only 100 fans in the stands,
well, we do a guaranteed
I'd be
purse,
done.
so I think you might do it too. But a lot of tracks will do a graduated purse. Well, if there's less than 8 cars, here's what you win. If there's less than, we do. With the one night we had, was it 6 stock cars?
Yeah.
6. We
That
don't know.
was ugly.
We don't know why only 6 stock cars show up. I still paid $400 to win.
Yeah.
300 for second, and on down,
Yeah, last place did all right that day.
Yes, last place did very well. But always people online complain about this whole payout thing. But like, we just want the guys to show up. We want them to know, okay, if I drive over there 2 hours and only 4 cars show up, am I going to get paid? Well, in our track, yes, you're still going to get paid. I'm going to grumble and mumble behind the scenes, but you're still going to get paid. We do that so the drivers will not use that as a reason not to go to a track. If they saw only 6 stock cars show up, well, shit, I don't know if I'm going to go. I don't know if I can cuss on here.
No, you're fine.
You're fine.
But I don't know if I'm going to go there because I don't know what I'm going to get. Well, they know now, no matter what, they're going to get, paid. So.
Well, you always hear from the drivers that are not making enough money, but as a fact, $10 to get in Salina Speedway this year. In 2008, when I last promoted before I come back this year, it was $10 to get in Salina Speedway. So 18 years ago, people paid me $10 to come into Salina Speedway. So, I mean, things are going to change. They have to change because I can't keep doing that. So, I'm trying to look at a deal because I want to get senior discounts. I want to put military discounts. But to do that, we got to raise prices, and I'll come up with what I have to do. But like I say, the track's going to make money, or it won't be there. And like I say, and that's what I think everybody has to look at every promoter's got to look at their program and say, what can I do to make my fans feel like they're getting their money's worth? My racers feel like they're getting racers. But I do know racers like to run in front of a crowd.
They do.
Yes.
I mean, you could pay whatever you want to pay to win a race, but when that guy gets out of his car, if he looks up there and there's 20 people in the stands, it demoralizes them.
Yeah.
But they could win $400 and look up there and have a crowd roaring. That's a good day.
That's a good day.
I mean, so like I say, I want the drivers to make more money. We're going to try to figure out how to pay more money. And like I say, and next year, I'm going to look at doing some different things. I mean, I might have where every fourth race might pay the $1,000 to win. But what I'll do is I'll say you had to be there the previous 3 races to qualify for it, to make guys show up every week.
Yep.
So, I mean, you know, I don't mind paying out more. But I got to make more to pay out more.
Well, yeah, it's a business.
And like I say, if we can get a deal where they're at Hutchison, and then Salina, and then Concordia, I'll throw some money at it if somebody can win all 3 of them.
Heck yeah, that'd be a good weekend.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, they could have a bonus. You know, I'd throw $500 bonus on it or something for somebody to be able to do that. And I'd say that's the kind of things that we can do
Yeah, you two
together.
should talk about a bonus.
Yeah,
It won't hurt.
It would only
It
cost.
It won't hurt. It only
Yeah.
costs money.
It only
that's
costs
it.
us
It'll cost.
$250 a piece. if we
Yeah,
both do it.
see you
Right.
split it.
$175 or whatever if we get Phil in on it.
I'm here to help.
Thanks.
But no, I mean, there's things you can do. I mean, you want cars to show up every week. All the tracks out west, they need cars to show up every week because it's, you know, they're facing the same thing everybody else does out west. They're small towns. They got to make their shows work. And like I say, so they got to keep the cars they got. And like I say, and that's all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get some Beatrice cars. So if anybody from the Beatrice area is working, this whole thing I'm doing is get you guys down there with us. But no, I don't see Mike.
Who do you have that races from Beatrice?
From Beatrice. You gonna put me on the spot like this?
Ronnebaum.
Shit.
Uh,
No.
Sean
Ronnebaum.
Ronnebaum, Sean Hines.
Swarthout.
I think
Swarthout.
Swarthout. Well, he's from Marysville, I think. Over that direction, though.
Yeah, and then Diekman, Kaylee.
Of course.
Yeah. Sorry, shouldn't have said the bonus words.
Uh,
The girl.
uh,
The
I told you you shouldn't put me on the spot, and I got to try to think of everybody.
Richards, Kaylee Richards.
Oh, yeah.
She
Up
raced
better.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We get some Salina guys that come up.
I think she's gonna.
We get some guys out of Western. I say Western, but you know, Osborne, Beloit. Got a couple guys from Beloit that come over quite often. East, we get a couple out of Topeka. I don't know that whole area over there, north of Topeka, whatever that is. That area that come over, stuff like that. So it's a good group that comes together. It's always nice to see new faces, of course, but
Sure.
but it's the regulars that we really appreciate because they invest in us just like we invest in them. So
And locals are the best
yeah,
because the locals are the ones that will bring 15 or 20 people in the grandstand.
yeah.
But
Hey,
hey,
he's got a good group of locals. Go ahead. What were you gonna
yeah,
say?
did Tyler Heath get the state championship wrapped up in hobbies? Do you know?
Well, it ain't. I don't think it's not over. Is
It's not over, but I didn't know where he was sitting.
I'm not sure either.
This is the last weekend.
Yeah, this here's
It's
last,
over this weekend.
over
for
this
sure.
weekend. I didn't know how far up he was, but
I'm
because that's
I don't
kind of
know.
cool if we could have the state champion and possibly still the national champion, Cody Williams. That'd be really cool to have both of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. And I gotta, like I say, I gotta give Cody credit. He went out to Boone and ran second in the Big A feature out there. I mean, I think that should have quieted down some of his critics out there that says he can't run with the big boys. Well, he did.
Tyler says he's 26 points ahead.
26.
So,
So,
yeah.
So,
so Tyler put it up front this week, bud.
Yeah.
Last I knew, unless Cody comes on and tells us different, I don't think Cody's going to be here this week.
He's going out.
I think he's going out for the money out west, which I can't blame him. I think he's got it tied up here. He's got enough points he can't lose.
He's from there. All of his family's out there. So.
And I understand. I miss not having him here, but like I say, but I understand. I'm all for him going out west and challenging those guys, and maybe that might open it up for Tyler here to snag one of these.
He's definitely due.
Yeah, he's definitely due.
he's raced his tail off this year, really has.
Yeah, he had to retire the old bent car finally, and
yeah, she's suffered a pretty severe hit down in Dodge, isn't that right?
That's what I heard. Yeah, I don't know if it was Dodge, was it there or Hayes? I don't know, but yeah.
Then he's had the Goodland on Sunday.
Real quick, we had some other people come on. Brian Holloway.
I can't read.
Tyler Heath, Marty Barth, Diane Hardner, Andrew Halpane, Cooper Wise, Brent Beaumont, Ben Workman, Gary Fuller, Calvin Davis, of course Tyler Heath, Alan Jeske, and Nick Ronnebaum just came on. So yeah,
Thanks for
everybody.
tuning in, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, you guys ready to wrap this up? I know you got work to do.
Yeah, I still got a sheep's foot in water tonight.
Yeah.
we normally don't sheep's foot this late, but the couple of rains we've had, which I appreciate because it saved me from buying rural water so far. But the track's gonna have to be sheep's footed tonight before we put water down to tighten it back up.
So, hey Terry, how are you? I don't know. I want to ask this question. I'm going to ask this to both of you before we wrap this up. What's your biggest expense? Is it food? Is it?
Oh, insurance. I'd say
Is
insurance.
it insurance?
Scott, well,
Mine's payout.
Is it?
The drivers make over twice as much as the second expense.
yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's a lot.
The drivers make out better than the track does, as a group.
To me, I say insurance because it feels like when I pay that out, I don't feel the return on it. Food, I get return on. I feel drivers bring people, I get return on them. It's the biggest amount of money is the worst. But like I say, when you write that check, I write check for the insurance at the beginning of the year. One check covers the whole season, and it's a big check.
So, what if you have a rain out? You get a credit back on that?
Yes.
And I'm not trying to get into your business.
No, I mean, I don't care. I tell my business all the time. It don't matter. Yeah, I get credit back. I don't think they're going to write me a check. I guess if I quit racing, maybe they would, but I think it'll be just a discount next year.
Deduction next year.
Which would be good because
Yeah.
I don't have to write that check in the off season to pay for it. But no, that's.
You know, before we go, I got to give a big shout out to all your employees. You got some great people working for you out there. One of them's walking off. Jamie Woods took on the announcing job, and Bill and I know how hard it is to announce, and he took on that job and is doing a really good job for you out there.
Yeah, he is. You know, all the people at Sonic Speedway are good employees, and I joke with them. I go in there and laugh with them and tease them all the time. But if it ain't fun to come out there and work, they're not going to come out there and work and have fun. And that's the one thing I want to make sure. Like the time I went down with the water truck and my hand slipped and I hit the switch on the water and I blasted my two inspectors off of the.
Yeah,
no, that was
accidentally
you. Was you
switched.
there too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was you and Matt.
Matt.
Wasn't it? I accidentally hit the switch, and that thing shoots water in a hurry, and just went blap, about knocked him over the wall. I mean, so
It accidentally slipped.
I feel that I got one coming at some time. I stay away. When they're in the water truck, I stay as far away as I can because they do owe me.
I was walking through the pits.
Yeah, I was trying to wave at you like,
Yeah, you told me,
Move, move.
shit, I got to get out of his way. I'm going to get wet.
yeah, that's the one problem we have at Salina. We don't have no little watering things. Our trucks water a lot when they water, and that's the one thing I want to add is something I can mist the top of the track. I don't have that. I have to get it so wet before the night's over that the moisture stays all night because I can't go up and mist the top of the track. And my son-in-law let him water the bottom one time, and he watered half the groove, and we were
Right down the middle.
right down the middle, and it was 45 minutes or so before we got it packed back down so we could go back racing. I mean, that was just a lesson learned. He went the wrong way.
In water, I mean, Mark's track, it seems like it likes a little water at intermission.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you are dirt, right? Your track, is it not clay, is it? Because
There's-
clay, it's hard to do.
Looks like there's some Play-Doh in turn one, and some more over. Mostly it's just crap, dirt.
Yeah,
Just,
and you have to water dirt or you can't. It just has to be done.
It's hard.
But
Pretty impressive little packer you guys built, though.
Yeah.
Terry built that.
Yep, you did.
Yep. That worked out good, I think,
Yeah.
for you guys.
Still fine tuning a little bit. Still got to get it painted.
Yep.
But yeah.
I told him I could sell some sponsorship on that thing if he'd let me.
Yep.
It's big enough we could put somebody's name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Chuck Fairchild's bonus?
Hey, I might put a billboard down there this next year.
There you go.
Now that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, there.
But no, that's like, and I will say this: the difference in the old days and nowadays promoting. In the old days, every car packed the track. That was just the way it happened. Everybody knew when they came they was going to have to take a shovel, and I don't know how there was ever any clay left on Salina Speedway back in the old days, but that's the way it was. Nowadays, my stock cars are pretty good about it. The hobby stocks, it's hard to get modifieds out there to pack your track.
I don't know.
They will pack it. Drivers could pack a racetrack so much better than anything we do usually, but we have to do. I got the roller now. I'm using the old county roller thing that we roll around there behind the tractor.
All the bearings are out.
Yeah, all the bearings are out, but she still rolls, and that's working pretty good right now. But yeah, I miss the days when the drivers did it because that was nice race trucks back then.
Yeah, the Packer works well. Sport mod driver though, if we need drivers to pack,
Yeah.
Sean Hine will
First
be out
one out
there.
there.
He'll be out there in a hurry, one ask, and he's there rolling it in. He's always been that way. At every track I've ever seen, that's what he does. He's just one of them old school guys that likes to do it.
That's cool.
I think he also knows that the faster it gets done, the faster he gets to race. So
You know, they keep seeing that cute girl bring me beers up here.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that's my daughter, Karis.
Yep.
She's one of the scorers up in the towers, which the electronics does it, but she runs. Everybody now knows that. She runs the whole top side of the speedway. If there's trouble, you hear her on the radio go, I'll handle that. I mean, she is doing a great job out there.
Mark knows.
Yep.
You took on the scoring deal, not knowing how it worked, and
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
she
I
did.
had some idea, but yes,
yeah,
it's interesting to have a radio that everyone out there can hear you, and all you get is hand signals back.
yeah.
So, and sometimes you know what they're saying just by their body language.
Yep.
And
Yep.
So he's up in the tower with me, and he scores, of course, from up there.
Yep.
You know, and he's got the receiver radio, he's got the track radio, and then him and the track prepper Terry have their own connection. I'm like, holy shit!
How do you keep that?
How do you keep? Well, he's got Terry's name on the one, and I know there's been more than one time when he's talked to the field.
The guys will tell me at every race at least once you'll hear over the radio, wrong radio. Because I tell the wrong person wrong thing, and
Yep.
because yes, I have 3 radios set up, and And it does help. I've been the last couple races. I wore a one-eared headset,
But it got
so I
real
can
quiet
only hear
in there.
my
I'm
guys.
like, what's he doing over there? I can't hear him no more.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I think you guys both do a great job.
Yeah.
Really. You
Well,
do.
thank you, and like I say, I do wish everybody that everybody's ending the year with their cars. I want wherever you race, I hope you have good success. You don't tear nothing up here at the end of the year. Everybody that shows up to Salina Friday, that's our last one for the year. We'll see you next year on Saturday nights, and we're hoping that's going to be a big night for us. We're going to get a lot of fans, a lot of cars, and I think I'm going to add fantasy racing to the thing for fans next year. I did that years ago. I think we're going to bring fantasy racing back.
There you go, Branston.
I think MRP already does that,
Do
don't
they?
they? I think it's already like built into. I never messed with it.
Oh,
but
they have it on there, but
Yeah.
yeah, we just did the old school. We just handed out a piece of paper with
Oh, okay.
each class. They put the driver's name down they think will do the best. They get the same points as the driver. And the guy ended the season, we'll give him a trophy.
Heck yeah.
First, second, and third, probably.
I know a guy that makes trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met a couple. Yeah.
You know, before we get off here too, we got to thank all the businesses that, you know, chipped in with sponsorship. All the banners we ended up putting up out front, and all the title sponsors. Of course, we get Art Bird stepped up with the Sport Compacts, and Busch Light with the hobby stocks, and Coors Light stock cars, and Mel Hamilton Ford with the modifieds, and Big Corner Creative Sport Mods, and then we also had the Hard Charger
Yeah.
people, Corey
Each
Lagrange-
class.
Corey Lagrange with the mods, and Curtis Barnes with the Sport Compacts. That was a tough sale.
Yeah,
Getting,
that was a tough on that one.
getting Curtis Barnes to sponsor Sport Compacts, that was tough. But and also First Class Autos Design with the Sport Mods. Who am I forgetting? BSB with the stock cars.
Yeah, the people selling.
Augie's towing
Augie's
and repair
did.
for the hobbies. Yeah.
Yeah, and we sold everything we could sell last year.
Yep.
I don't think nothing went unsold. I was trying to put a sign on Bobby, but I didn't get that one sold yet. But I think
Gloria-
next year I got it.
Gloria Colgin and Craig stepped up with the Hard Luck Award, which
Yep.
we voted every week. So thank you to everybody.
And we had 35 banners, all paying us this year. That's
That's spectacular.
It is. It's good town involvement. I mean, I want it to be better. I had to go to Minneapolis, and hey, wait a minute, I got to talk about that before you get off here. Our ambulance crew,
Oh. What the hell happened there?
they went to Las Vegas and entered the national EMT competition worldwide. They finished second.
Really?
He texted me, he said, you ain't got the best in the world, but he said, you got the second best.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're going to honor them this week out there, too. That is impressive.
That's
we
cool.
had fill-ins for them, but yeah, Minneapolis EMT service has stepped up this year. And I mean, just saved us. We got basically shunned from the Salina deal.
Salina
And-
Fire Department wouldn't do it?
Nope, they would not do it. And I found out 3 or 4 days before opening nights before I found out they weren't doing
Why
it.
wouldn't they do it?
They
Did you say?
just said no interest, and I go, you understand I can't have races without an ambulance? And he looked at me kind of silly, like, really? I said, yeah, we cannot open this next Friday night if I don't have an ambulance out there. And he went, oh. Greg, my son-in-law, got a hold of the Minneapolis guys. They went and talked to the mayor. They talked to the head of it. Had a contract signed within 2 days. And they're on for next year, I understand.
I find that so hard to believe because they've always had Salina Fire Department.
Yeah.
And then there were others. in
Well,
between.
Tommy worked for the other company, and they came out. But yeah, I was surprised. It dumbfounded me that Salina would not do that.
Support that.
Yeah, but like I say, but I'm glad we got Minneapolis because now we got the second best in the world.
He has, you have Concordia.
Concordia Fire and EMS. They're fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know your class sponsors?
Don't know my class sponsors.
Yes.
Yeah. It's been a month since I've raced.
I don't want to
so-
say them. I could say them, but I want you to do it.
It's the Jeff Cipher stock cars, Kansas Land Tire and Service Sport Mods, the Miller Ag Repair Hobby Stocks,
Are you looking?
Looking?
No?
Okay.
You want me to look?
No.
My children are over there like hand signaling me
Yeah,
sometimes.
CAD
So
law.
the NCK Medical Center Sport Compact.
That's
the
a tough one to read.
The CAD law, which I believe is either in Minneapolis, I think, or Salina, one of the two. And mini stocks, and then we had the cruiser class, and we had 4 races with them, and I just put my name on them because I felt like they needed a sponsored name, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
The
Two
things that
questions.
promoters do, nobody knows.
right.
2 questions, Chuck. Sorry, and I'm going to be done. And just because he mentioned that cruisers, you going to do anything with them? Are they did?
No, they're good. They seem to be better in the small towns
Well, we're not getting that many.
than here. That's what I mean. But I know that, like, you go to Belleville, they got this 8 or 10 of them, but they have the same 8 or 10 every time, which is good. That's enough to run them.
They run outlaw rules too. I shouldn't say they run outlaw rules. They run outlaw. It's run what you brung type of thing. We actually have a rule set that, funny enough, some cruiser guys came together, wrote the rules, and then supposedly was going to be in agreement with, like, if when they ran other tracks, we were all, except Belleville wasn't involved, would all share the same rule book. That way these cruisers knew they were legal everywhere they went.
Yeah.
Apparently we were the only ones that actually enforced the rules.
Yeah,
And so we took the fall for
And
it.
then you made some guys mad.
And then, but last year, our biggest night, we had 6 cruisers, which was the last one. Opening night had 3 or 4. Second night had 2. So it's like, if you guys don't want to, you want a place to race, then show up.
Yeah.
You can't just say, "Oh, I'm working on a car." That doesn't work.
Well,
if you want a place at the track, you need to show up.
the same as Mod Lights.
What happened to that?
They got big, and then they got
Didn't they get IMCA sanctioned?
and now it's it is growing in IMCA across the nation.
But here.
It's growing everywhere but here.
And that's
Right.
another weird thing, just because I've always liked late models. IMCA has an IMCA late model, but we don't get them down here. They won't conform to those rules.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I get right now. Are you going to run late models? You're going to run sprint cars? Well, the problem right now I've seen with late models is the last 2 shows I went to, one was at Belleville, one was at Hutchinson. I do go watch races other places. They had 10 cars at both of them. I'm not going to schedule a race
With 10 cars.
until I think they can get me 16, 20. I mean, I want that to show up if I'm going to run a special race. And the sprint cars, the 305s are a little closer to being able to do that. They are real iffy though. You put them together with a couple shows, you can get 20 of them. You put them out on an island, you're liable to get 6 of them.
Right.
So I mean that's why it's hard for me, and I'm gonna get with Phil hopefully and try to get some of them shows. I know you don't want late models on your track.
I beg you. I beg you, but
I
you
think
won't do it.
4 late models on our track is a full show.
Yeah. But no, that's why it's hard. I would really like to get in on the USAC deal when the midgets come through and go to Beloit and Fairbury and all that. I'm going to try to get a hold of them people. I don't understand how that all works because they pay them a lot of money, but I see if they go to those places, I ought to be able to do it too. So I haven't talked with them. I'm going to try to talk to because I want Justin Grant and CV. I want all of them to come to Salina, but I don't know how to do that. So I got to learn how to make that work.
I think just get in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get that
It's a lot,
wallet
I
out.
think.
Get your wallet out.
Well, if I would have done it before those rainouts, I might have been able to.
Be able to afford it. Last question for you, Chuck, and I don't mean to put you on the spot. What are you going to do? And maybe you're not ready. And then I don't want to. I did it to him. What about the go-karts? What are you going to do there? Because they used to run on Saturdays.
Yeah. I don't.
Have you given that any thought?
Well, I think about it all the time. How much of my parking lot it's taken up.
I know that's a bone of contention. I would have never put it there.
Well, no, the go-kart track at some point is leaving that parking lot because I think on Saturdays I'm going to need that extra parking anyway. We are looking at trying to build a track in the infield to be able to run like the 600s and full-size midgets if we wanted to move them to that track. Kind of like the size of the Washington, Kansas and stuff tracks.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I've talked to some of the karters, they think they can run on the same track that they do. They just got to change their gears and stuff. The future of it's going to move to the infield. There may be a year we don't have go-karts, but Bobby's been taking measurements. We've been trying to figure out part of the front stretch moving that we changed the wall. We changed the pit lane. Part of that is preparation for possibly building another track in the infield.
I didn't. Yeah, I was just kind of curious with your night change, and I was wondering what you were going to do there.
No, if it stayed out there, they would have to go back to Sundays. I mean, it would be their only choice.
Okay.
But the go-karts have never blown up at Salina to me. I mean, to me, to make money with running go-karts, which I'm a businessman and I'm about the money, you need 75 carts to show up every week, and you could make money. You make a little bit of money, but that's all help. All help at Salina is volunteer help on carts, all of it. I pay the insurance. All the people donate their time.
I didn't think about insurance on carts.
Yeah.
But you got to have it.
Yeah. And like I say, so that's the problem with it is making my people go out there. And it's my Saturday people, most of them, and Stacy and Warren Huffman. They've really been big supporters of that.
Sure.
And like I say, but it needs to move to the infield, and I need to get it with, because when those 600 micros run, they get 60 of them, and they fill the grandstands in these little towns.
Do you run 600?
I want some of that.
When it doesn't rain.
It gets rained out
Yeah.
every year, don't
They
it?
haven't ran with us in 2 years, but every scheduled night has gotten rained
It's
out.
rained
Yeah.
out. Yep.
It's just a bad luck of the draw, I guess.
It is.
Because
Yeah.
that's what I told the promoter at one point was when because their son races, and I said, what, when you guys are at the house, you like make sure you got the tires, make sure you got fuel, make sure you got the rain. Is that what you guys do? I mean, because it did. 2 years in a row, every J Husker race got rained out.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think there's some money to be made with them if you can get the show on.
Yeah,
I mean,
they have we pay the purse, of course, for them. It's not near like sprint car purse or something like
Yeah.
that. That's astronomical compared to them, but
I always see fans in the stands.
Oh,
when I
yeah.
go to 'em.
yeah.
A
They've got a cool
go-kart
following.
race, there's no fans in the stands. It's all the families that come with the carts.
Right.
And if they do come, they park out in the parking lot and sit and watch over the fence.
I could turn my air conditioner on.
I know. And it was only $3 for a fan, and I never
I don't
received
mind.
I never received this entire year $3 from a fan.
I don't mind paying. I could turn my AC on. Look, I'm fat. It's hot. The air conditioner's right there. And then I get up at the fence when she races and I watch.
So I
I don't mind.
should have charged at the front gate then.
You should have charged to park.
Yeah.
I'd pay it.
No, that's the only thing about the carts. I mean, they're in trouble right now with me, only on because of the space they're taking up. But
Well, we did?
did you?
Okay. She paid.
Oh, you did pay the $3?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, pit passes. I sell a lot of them.
Okay.
But no, but the plan is to try to get a track they can run on, and I could put micros and stuff in there too.
Well, there's a lot of stuff about the carts I don't understand. All of this. But it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
granddaughter races, so it drives me out.
It's a family sport.
Yes.
It's not a great promoter sport.
I know, but I'd gladly pay. That's
But that
not
class
the
is
problem.
needed too, though, to get the kids to get hooked into. Otherwise, it all falls. We
They
get
gotta
asked all.
start.
We get matter of fact, I got asked yesterday about running go karts at our track.
Really?
He thinks our track's too big for go karts, but could we? And I'm like, I don't know.
They run around the bottom. I don't know, right? Because they only run on about.
It'd be considered
They run on
for
about
go-kart,
4. They
it'd
run
be
on
like-
about 4 foot of track is what I see they
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Your track would be
Go
like
kart would be like
Belleville.
Talladega.
Oh, Belleville.
You know, feel like Talladega to them. They're just
I mean, they run go-karts on Cam Raceway up in Hastings, and it's not too much smaller than you guys.
and they would
but-
mostly run the bottom. But see, we got
Yeah.
a flat bottom. and then it get, the C cup and it goes up and everything. But
Yeah.
if they only ran that bottom,
I
but
think they could.
Yeah.
They make a sprocket for everything.
They do.
yeah.
Those are easier to change than the 9-inch.
Okay, well I gotta go water.
Yep. You better go. You're gonna have to turn the lights on
I know.
tonight.
I got to pay the electric bill tonight to get her done.
He's got his kids with him. They got school tomorrow, so let's wrap
But
this
look,
up.
they're sitting calmly over there.
I don't
One
know,
last thing.
What do you think they've done?
Our
Yeah,
next
that's
event, his next event's Friday.
Right.
Our next event's December 7th.
The
banquet.
Banquet.
Okay.
December 7th.
Okay.
What time?
But we'll do the 5, 6, 7. Doors open at 5. Happy hour at 6. Dinner's at 6. Awards at 7. And then of course you'll be telling everyone what they win, all that stuff.
Gonna make me sweat again.
I am.
Thanks a lot.
If you need a helper, I might be in.
Okay.
We'll see what's
You
going
know,
on.
I mean, and we've appreciated your help this year.
Yes.
It's
really.
fun coming up there.
You know.
I'm glad you put them billboards on the back straightaway, though.
Yeah, the other thing I'm also working on, we'll make this thing last forever, won't we?
Yeah.
Is you've
You
already
guys can
got
talk.
one, but we've never had a scoreboard.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I've been working with Scott at Westhold.
Yeah, you got to get
And
a sponsor. is what you
We're
gotta get.
we're working on figuring something out to get possibly a scoreboard.
You
So
sell Coke or Pepsi?
we sell what I bring into the cooler.
Oh, so you don't have a...
We're not big enough for
You're
them
not
to
isolated.
even consider. Yeah.
I just say sometimes you get them to buy your scoreboard.
yeah.
But yes,
Yeah.
that's in the works too.
I
So
work on that.
anyway, go ahead. Finish your show.
No, I want you to talk. Damn it! I was worried, so you did great.
Well, I spent most of the day with a massive migraine,
Did you really?
so I'm lucky to be here.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yes.
Chuck, you too. Appreciate it. Bobby, we gonna do these and call it good night?
Yep.
Okay, go.
Okay. Kansas Auto Racing Museum, located there in Chapman. Great place to go. Got a bunch of old time stuff. A lot of cool pictures. They got a simulator in there for kids or anybody to go out and race in the simulator. They got old cars, race cars in there. Pretty cool place. Of course, Salina Speedway. Racing there. We raced all Friday night. Had a great season. Got one more Friday night. Be a championship night. Then we got some fireworks to go and the demolition derby to end out the season.
Our banquet's on, what, October 26th?
26th, I believe you said. Yep.
The VFW here in town.
Okay. Of course, big special thanks to Amanda. Dean's off in Manhattan doing something, so I guess he's supposedly working or something. But Amanda filled in for him, so thank you, Amanda, for doing all this. And of course, the District Eaton Play right here, having us great place.
BSB Manufacturing, 20 North Industrial Drive, Wellington, Kansas. Excuse me, 620-326-3152. If you want to go fast, get a hold of Jay. Block out at least an hour of your time. Sorry. He's got the most complete and up-to-date package available. Belleville High Banks Hall of Fame and National Midget Auto Racing Museum. Summer hours Tuesday through Sunday 10 to 5. Winter hours Tuesday through Sunday 11 to 4. 1204 8th Street, Belleville, Kansas, right on the east side of the highway on the northern edge of town. Entries by free will donation, and they are the local authorized Nance Racewear dealer. Bill Griggs, Kimball Midwest. Hilljob Graphics, Mike Hill. Demo number, signs, and banners, 6924 East Highway K4, 785-822-4536. Got us hooked up with these shirts, wrapped up Dean's trailer, did a nice job. Sorry, Mark. Concordia Raceway, 615 Industrial Road, Concordia. Quarter-mile egg-shaped dirt track. I like to call it a Great American Short Track. Races on Sunday afternoon, starting 2025. Chuck,
And-
good luck this weekend.
And real quick, also, there is some other racing going on before we end up the year, but Salt City Speedway's got a race on the October 5th. It's kind of an open deal going on. The Fall Nationals are out in Hayes, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Clear out west, the Flatlanders going on. So take in some racing. There's
Beatrice
still-
has their fall
Beatrice is
special
having their
mid-October.
Fall Oktoberfest. So yeah,
81 Speedway has Spooktacular coming.
that's right. Good, thank you.
We'll talk
So-
to you two next year about
Take
length
in
of
some
your
racing.
season and where you want to go. But
Yep.
yeah, Support your local racetracks, folks. They won't exist without us.
Thanks
Then-
everybody for watching tonight too.
Then we'll have another Farmers Fields. We're going to take the show on the road here in a couple weeks, head north for a bit. Got a couple other specials we're working on. We'll let you know as that happens. And if Bobby doesn't give me a phone call on a Tuesday afternoon and say he's in trouble,
Yeah.
we'll get it figured out. Thanks so much for joining us. And we'll see you probably in a couple weeks right here on Race Talk Live. For Bobby Potts, great guests, Chuck Fairchild, Mark Headick, thanks for joining us tonight. Bill Grit saying so long. We'll see you next time. Yeah, you did good.
You told me to sit and talk, so.
You did.